it. Oh yeah. That's gonna annoy me on camera when we editing.
Big roll.
There you go. Now we're gangsta. Boom. Let's see how we explain you out with the head off. There you go. There you go. That's my favorite gangster.
You look like your son.
Look at that. Look at that. Nah, that's more bikey. You good?
Good. We just came back from Pimpama, so I'm really good.
Yeah. Came back from Pimpama, which is the neighborhood where we're gonna start our second church.
Yeah, so the first time we've been to in the venue.
Yeah.
So I've actually been there before, just driven past. Showed my family, drove past, showed Michelle. It was night time, so I wasn't just, oh wow, this is awesome. So the first time we actually drove there off the motorway, straight there. I know I'm going to put the little signs at the arrows for the parking, because we went and parked up the back, which we saw, driving up the back, parked there, waiting for Jade. We didn't know where the admin office was. She's like, oh, you got to park in the front because the admin office is there. So when we got in, drove in the front.
But that's not where we're going to go when we have in our family time.
Where we went is where we're going to go for family time.
So we show them the little footage, and the only reason why we are recording this, obviously we want to record the journey to help people who one day might start a church. Like we said before, it's a little different because we already have an idea of a few families that might join. So we are at the stage, well, we were at the stage looking for a venue, but most people wouldn't even worry about venue until they have 20, 30 people in the lounge.
So we were like, this will do. And so we went and met Karen, lovely lady there. You know, it's really expensive. It's $40 an hour.
$40 an hour.
$10 an hour for the kitchen on top of that.
Wow. And she said it like it was something like big A. Oh, it's just extra $10 an hour.
So we went for a walk through the school. We've never been there before. Beautiful school, 150 years old.
Yeah, 150 years old. And when you say it, people, obviously in the minds of people, they're gonna think, "Wow, 150 years old is pretty old."
But
yeah.
I'm thinking, who would go to a school 150 years ago in that area?
In that area, I didn't even know there was that area 150 years ago.
There's no houses around there. Rural. It's a rural area.
Because I remember when we were setting up to come back to Australia, we were looking at places, and then on YouTube there was like, oh, you know, this new development area called Pimpama, and we were like, this is new. We didn't know that before, but 150 years old.
Yeah. So
which is a good sign, though. It's been in the community before.
Yeah. Walked through the school, beautiful school, and then we came to this new hall, the gymnasium, and we had a look through, and you'll see, massive.
Yeah.
Amazing for like youth, hang out, something like that.
Huge. And the green field, eh?
And then outside is the big oval.
You know what? I thought this school was a great test of faith, because in the Bible, Jesus actually said you will pick up snakes, and there's plenty of snakes there. I had to throw that one in there. Oh my gosh.
You know what? Pedro can pick up the snakes.
I ain't picking no snakes, I'll tell you that. I'm not picking any snakes. I don't have that much faith.
Wow. So, amazing hall, and the kitchen's fine. And then I'm thinking, what about kids' church? Because there's no like auxiliary rooms, and I didn't want to ask for another room straight off. So we're just walking around, and then we went up this little path.
Let's talk about that for a little bit, because using a school or a state school or city school might be the option to go for most people in Australia. It's very common to use a school hall, right? So pretty cheap, affordable. You don't need to have hundreds of people. $40 an hour, man. You know, a group of people can pay for it.
Yeah.
And when you were talking to Karen, lovely lady, I noticed that you were like taking extra caution, just being very careful, just to not to sound like, oh, we need this, we need that, we need that. We just like, now whatever you give us. It was kind of like that mindset.
Yeah. Where's the chairs? You know, we just want chairs. Tables. She's like, oh. So I'm like, oh, that's all right. We'll bring some tables.
Yeah.
You know, there's already tables, like outdoor tables there. But when I said, yeah, pull it, trestle table, she's like, oh. I'm like, oh no. And then we went in the kitchen, and she was like, there's a after school program that uses the kitchen every day. Hardly the school uses it. So I said, oh, could we use some of their... She's like, oh. So I said, no, it's all good. We'll just bring our own.
Yeah.
We'll get boxes and bring everything we need. She's like, oh, no, that's good. So, you know, you just sort of just see where the tension is. And if there's hesitancy, you just say, oh, well, we'll just get tables, we'll get our own hospitality stuff, put in boxes.
Yeah. So you went minimum viable. Okay, this is the minimum we need.
Yeah.
And then just testing the boundaries to see
we're not allowed to use the
step.
stage in the auditorium, in the gymnasium. So she said you can't use that, or we can't use the audio gear. I'm like, oh, that's fine. That's all.
We don't need any.
We don't need it.
Okay, let's talk about that now, because we were in the gym, and the gym can sit 800 people. That's way too much. It's actually bigger than the place that we are now. Like sits 800 people. So then we walked off, and we walked out.
Yeah, and actually we walked down to go to the oval and the playground, beautiful little playground for the little kids. And then I was like, oh, can I have a look at the fans on the gym? Because they've a huge fan. So we went and looked at that, and then, where's the bubbler? Where's the nearest water fountain for the kids?
Yeah.
And it was up a little path. So we walked up the path, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I looked in, and I'm like, there's a little place with a little stage, toilets right there.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, this will be awesome for kids' church, actual. Because I don't want to ask you about another room. Can I have another classroom for kids' church? And it's already like, But then I looked at that place, and I'm like, in the future, kids could be here because it's all cornered off. We can put a little fence up, make it secure. It's outdoor, breezy, toilets right there. So then I said, what if we start with this?
And there is a reason for that. You want to start there because we expect only a few families to come, so we're not making a big fuss of this. This video is actually only being released first week of December. So basically, we are 2 weeks out to start our church. So there's no advertising. To this point, there's no advertising.
No.
So we have maybe 20, 30 people there, and that's not many kids. So we don't need an extra area for kids. So we'll just see how it goes.
The first, this is the idea. We'll just start I'll get a couple of signs for people to know where to park, and then we'll walk down into that covered area, small, and we'll just sing some songs, share some scripture, pray, and people can share what they are thinking, what they sense, have a cup of tea together, something kids can play.
You've always reinforced to me, way back then in the times of internship, two things. One, under promise, over deliver.
Yeah.
Second, lower the expectations. Because the main problem with relationships is unspoken expectation. So you go, we're gonna start a new church, and then you show all of that, and then people are like, oh, this is gonna be massive. But I like the way you're doing it, because you are intentionally lowering the expectations. You know what could happen, you know what anyone could manufacture, but let's just step back, wait on the Lord, pray together. And then one of the reasons why I like the most when you said, okay, we're gonna have it outside here, it's because it relates to our raw part of how we do things. So let's,
and if people don't like that, then they can't handle the journey, because how you start is not how it will finish. So if we start raw and in a concrete room, if you can't handle that now, you won't handle growth.
And again, just perspective wise, the outside, what we are calling raw here, I remember when we were in Brazil, we did church in the outdoors for a year. We were literally cleaning human dung before the services. So there's the perspective wise, we're like top of the notch already.
It's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's awesome space.
And we've said it on our podcast, the importance of pacing yourself. you know, and like a relay run, you don't want to start with your best, because not with your best. That's not the expression, but you know what I mean. Like going hard, going strong.
It's a long run.
Because you burn.
It's a long run. We're just going for a long walk.
Yeah.
So around in circles.
Yeah, around in circles. That's it. What is it that you say? Groundhog Day?
Yeah.
It's newsflash for them. It's
Groundhog Day.
for
That's
us.
the movie. I'm like, oh man, this is my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that you your personality, your profile per se, you know, the shepherd, the local pastor. It's an amazing thing to start a church with someone who has a heart to be a local pastor.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Nah.
I'm here for the long haul. I understand that there are other churches that might start with people who have an apostolic inclination. They should start going.
Praise the Lord.
But it gives a feeling of assurance, like, oh, he's not going anywhere. He's here for the long haul.
I'm moving there.
You're moving there. I didn't want to
Selling my house
indicate that, but
and moving there. So, and then we went for a drive. So we're happy. We'll get an invoice, pay the invoice, which is like the bond and the months in advance. Get a couple of signs showing people where to go. I'm going to write out a little information sheet when people come, because I really want to make sure we look after the place. Like there's some basic expectations of appearance, you know, tidiness, cleanliness, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than a church going in and the school complaint like, this is worse. This is a hassle now.
Oh, we never done this. And
Yeah.
look,
So we want to leave it better than what we got it,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure it's all security sorted
And that's a good way to get favor with people, you know.
Yeah.
Like the primitive church, they went and they had God's favor and people's favor.
Yeah.
So you just have a good testimony.
So we want to bless that community, not be, oh, here's the church again,
Yeah.
they're going to make a mess, break stuff, you know.
Mm.
So, you know, we'll put a real big onus on the parents. And I really felt to start a midweek prayer for the men. So then I heard there was a men's shed up there. And so we went for a drive after we said goodbye. We went for a drive around the corner to a men's shed, but it was really small and like
Full of tools inside and
bit rough.
it wasn't what we planned.
Yeah, not what I thought. I thought it would be an inspiring space.
Mm.
It looked just cluttery and but then there was an arts centre there.
Yeah.
That had a
School of Arts, I think.
School of Arts. Big open space. I'm just like, wow, maybe we have prayer for men there. Banquets next year there.
And for me, what's interesting is, well, the school is kind of isolated, so we have no problem with parking.
Yeah,
bothering the neighbors. We'll talk briefly about these things, you know, before you go to a venue. Make sure there's parking, kids facilities, that kind of stuff. But the School of Arts, which we're probably gonna have exponentially less people on the men's gathering for prayer than on a Sunday family time, which is obvious. But the School of Arts is right on the patio of a house, probably one of the oldest houses there. So what a great blessing it would be to have all of the men praying there.
Yeah.
And imagine, you know, if the owners of those houses around, I think it's a couple, they walk out and say, well, what's happening? And then they come along and then, you know, share a prayer. Who knows? They might be Christians, and if they're not, they might be reached. After all, starting a new church is the best way to reach people. So I love that. I love that fact that the School of Arts is right there.
Mm.
Yeah.
So there's a bit to do. You know, I'll have to get some tables. I've got a trailer that's enclosed, so I'll get signs, flags, trailer, tables, cups and coffee and all that stuff.
Maybe after a few months, if there is the need for it, we might have a couple of small PAs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If there
Pretty
is a need.
simple,
Yeah.
It's just real simple. But I'd like to, so that'll be this year. Next year we'll just do 9:30 a.m. and then we don't do any nights in December, January, so just morning. So heaps of time for connection, hanging out. I'll probably encourage people to bring picnic and go to the Oval and
go to the green space.
have some fun, man. And then February, I'll probably do the prayer midweek. February, I'll start thinking about banquets. And I want to do at least 4 or 5 banquets up that way.
So that'll be a full week. You leading the first?
No, I'll probably lead 3. So I want to do Circuit Breaker, Purple Book, and 1 Timothy. I'll get someone else to do Valiant Man, and Rochelle will probably do one, and someone else will do one.
Yeah.
So we might have like 6 specifically in that
That's
area.
awesome.
And then I want to get pretty, like in February, look at youth starting up here on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Maybe in the School of
School of
Arts, if we can't use the school.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's just focusing on the very few things that you want to do well in the first year.
Yeah.
Like going back to training.
The simple message at the start will be about devotion. Like they devoted themselves. Like if you live in this area, we're devoting ourselves to gather as God's people to pray, to break bread together, to help one another serve, meet in each other's homes, build that community.
Yeah.
I'll talk about daring, like we want to take daring steps of faith in this area since we live here. And then, disciples. We need to make disciples.
I like the idea. It is God's kingdom, but it is Pimpama's church.
Yeah.
So this, it's for that little area, and like you always use the expression, our little part of the world.
Our little part of the world.
Yeah.
Our little investment into the kingdom of God. And we say little not in the sense of despise,
Yes.
but in the sense of, wow, we're a seed in the ground.
It's an awareness that we're not going to reach people in Japan.
No.
That's not the idea.
And our aim is not to reach people in Brisbane.
Yeah.
We live in Pimpama, we gather in Pimpama, and we're going to reach Pimpama. Praise the Lord.
And by God's grace, whatever happens that we happen to influence anyone there in Pimpama,
Praise the Lord.
that's already a blessing.
Yeah. So I think that's, I think we're good.
Yeah. Good. So we're starting, and we mentioned on the little video that we showed, car park was important. We have enough car park.
Good parking.
So we're not going to bother the neighbors because that's the worst thing ever. You start a church and then the streets flooded and people park in front of other people's gates and all of that. So car park is good. Kids, we don't have auxiliary rooms. We don't need them yet, but there's plenty of room for kids, plenty of different environments. They're all covered. So we'll pray for kids volunteers, which is always a challenge in our church.
Look, I'm not gonna recruit, say, oh, you'd be great for kids, you'd be great for whatever. I'll just say, hey, look, guys, this space we're in right now, which is the outdoor space, next year I want to make this for kids. So kids have their own space, their own craft. It's all fenced in, safe. Toilets here, water there.
I think the main proof for any minister that you are aligned with God's will is that when we don't use the word vision too much, but when you articulate what's in your heart, when people gel with it, when people click, that's a God sign. And if people are like, and no one responds, you're probably off. So you go, next year we want to fence this up. Someone will put their hand up and say, I can do that.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to recruit, quote unquote.
Yeah, we've already got the fencing. So then you've got, someone will. Yeah. Someone will say, I'll look after kids. And what a great kids area, because it's pretty much damage proof. It's outside in a concrete area. And they've got a projector that you can put something on for the kids. We've already got the curriculum from the rain.
Yeah.
We have a big box of toys or whatever they need. Mate, it's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be awesome.
And then igniters, they can come in for the service and then they can go out and play handball and do a little lesson, then run on the oval. And
so I think one of the last things that we could meditate on, I'm actually observing you and your body language while you share this. This is how people in that area will understand it. You can come on a Sunday, but if Sunday is all you got, you're malnourished.
Yeah.
But if you're around there and you're going house to house and you live in that thing and you listen to that repetitively, we're gonna do this, and the igniters, you start dreaming together. Yeah. You start going like, oh man, my kids are growing. My kid's 5 years old. In 5 years they'll be 10. They might be coming to this school. And what a beautiful thing it will be. My kids come to the school and then they come to church in the school. That's a heavy influence. I love it. Sunday school. Come on.
Yeah. So then we'll do a breaking bread in February, maybe January, a breaking bread lunch. Everyone bring a shared lunch and we'll just maybe get some gazebo sit on the oval. Let the kids run, man.
Yeah.
They'll have so much fun.
Spend the day. It looks like the sports day Fizzy Park.
Yeah.
At the back.
Yeah.
So that's it.
It'll be so fun. Because then you can have, parents versus the kids, soccer.
Yeah.
Just make it fun.
Let's go. Beautiful.
Build
There's a barbecue on the thing.
Oh,
jeez. That's it. Sausage sizzles all day long.
So you can set up the breaking bread on the balcony. Everyone just comes up, gets their food, goes back down.
Yeah. I'm glad this is only going out in December. Otherwise, people are gonna go like, "Oh, I'm gonna go that one."
No one watches this anyway.
Bro, you just pulling me down. That's
No,
good,
it's good.
That's
It's good to take some
enjoyed it.
people on the journey.
Yeah.
And
it's gonna. I think this is healthy. Like this is probably the last thing we can share on this for this time.
Yeah.
It's healthy. 10 years later, we've done it before. We've failed a few, 50% sort of rate. We've said it many times, and now you're in a good position. You've been here for 10 years. You know everyone. You've made connections. People trust you, and then you're starting with all of that baggage. Not just your previous baggage, but your contextualized baggage. You know how to pace yourself.
Yeah.
You're not putting any unreal, surreal expectations on this.
And it's going to ease the burden on the team in the ring. It's going to. That's how I can see.
I think it's a matter of perspective.
Yeah, that's how I see it. How can I lighten the load for the team? I know what. I'll take 50 people and look after them in every way. Family time, shepherd the flock, feed the flock. And that will lighten the load.
I agree with you. I just look through a different lens, and I think as a good father that wants to develop their kids and help them grow. So okay, here's a little bit more responsibility. I'll be out for a couple of weeks, and then I'll be out for a month, and then
that'd be awesome.
I'll see you on the other side. Awesome, bro. Thanks.
All good.
This is good. It's good. See you next week.
Yes.
Alright, so really exciting times. We are here at Pimpama State School, and we just realized that we have plenty of car parking. Why is that important? Every time you start in a church, and if you already have a group of people, it's good to make sure you can guarantee at least 3 things. First, car parking. Where are people gonna park? Second, kids facilities. If families come along, and hopefully that's what you're aiming for, if families come along, where are the kids gonna go? Who's gonna look after them? And third, and the least important one, is where they're gonna meet. Because adults, we can meet anywhere. We can meet under a tree in the auditorium, but the kids and the cars, they need to be well looked after. So we've got plenty of car park here. This is Pimpama State School. Obviously we won't show the kids. Marsha's going ahead, and we're just gonna have a little tour, see the place, and then we're out. Let's go. About car park, and we talked about kids facilities, and this is the auditorium. It's a gym actually, and you see a little bit of the gym being recorded around. But 2 great things that I love about this. First, there are automatic doors on left and right, so we don't need aircon, and it's very fresh, very well built. We can sit about 800 people here, and we're definitely not gonna need that many chairs. But we're probably gonna set up there. This is where their stage is for their assemblies and things like that. And come over here, I want to show you something. Apart from the beautiful pictures on the wall and all of that, the kangaroos and the birds, there's an amazing area out there, and we call our Sundays family time for a reason. We like people to feel like family. So over there, we're probably gonna set up our morning tea, and then families can come after the service, open the doors after our family times. We're just sharing food together and then watching our kids just playing on the green fields. That's beautiful. So if you live here up north, and if you're part of Gold Coast Chapel, or if you just live in Pimpama, Jacob's Well, Ormo, all of this area, you're welcome to check it out. We're starting in December, and this is gonna be amazing. Let's go. big boss hates big things, all right? So he's over there, it's like, oh, we don't want to do the whole thing in the big, so apparently this is where we're gonna be. This is our start. But the good thing about this is that we just come from those stairs and then all the kids are here and it's beautiful and it's actually more like a chapel, you know, really simple, really raw. If we look at what we do at Barn, for example, it's a biblical and it's an apostolic, but it's raw. It's raw. This is us, raw. We'll try to convince them to do it the other way though. But anyway, this is our plan A for now. This is a good match. We love the school. The values of the school are amazing. They're written on the walls everywhere. Pride, integrity, manners, partnerships, acceptance, morality, and accountability. It's just an acronym for Pimpama. You know how we talk about in our videos with your strategic planning. You want to focus on the things that only you can do. The very minimum things, just do them well. So in the first year, we plan on doing our family time. We'll do maybe 3 or 4 banquets, just purple book, basic stuff. And then we'll have a men's gathering at the men's shed because, as Marshall said, you know, he's a man, so you'll get the man there, and these are the only 2 things that we're gonna do.